Are you warning the House?
I'm advising that we do not stand here and pass a bill that will be inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria. Because no matter how you hide and say whether it's immunity or no immunity, the fact of the case remains that you are inhibiting the process of judicial adjudication. I'm Honorable Kaleja Adeboye Paul, PhD. I represent Ajeromi Federal Constituency, the mini Nigeria. I'm from Lagos State, the state of aquatic splendor. I rise again today to also still want this House to be very careful. One, I still ride on the fact that
Are you warning the House?
I'm advising that we do not stand here and pass a bill that will be inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria. Because no matter how you hide and say whether it's immunity or no immunity, the fact of the case remains that you are inhibiting the process of judicial adjudication. Let's examine why was the Code of Conduct Tribunal established? For what purpose? And then in establishing the Code of Conduct Tribunal, there were things that were considered as necessary for our democracy. So if you ask any judicial officer not to be allowed to appear before the Code of Conduct, you're already inhibiting process of judicial adjudication. Secondly, I also like to dwell on the fact that immunity, whether in whatever name or in whatever manner, is immunity. Immunity is defined as obligating, preventing, excusing, disallowing, allowing people to enter privileges of not being subjected to prosecution. So whatever way you define it, this bill is going to excuse these people. And I submit finally to say that the position raised by our dear colleague as to the fact that the man who raised, our colleague who raised the motion order motion, to say that we should not allow this bill to stay through. I submit also that we should allow this to come in whatever manner you can protect the judicial officers, but not necessarily have to immune them. Thank you.
Let's hear from Honorable Sam.
So that the members are well informed about the provisions of this amendment. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Fulata, assume leadership position. Honorable Kuye, assume leadership position. The leadership chamber should not be empty.
Mr. Speaker, everybody knows the position of Section 292 of the Constitution. Juxtapose the position of Section 292 of the Constitution with the If we juxtapose it, probably our members will be able to understand what this amendment is seeking for. I don't think in any way it's seeking for our immunity. No, knowing the position of immunity as enshrined in Section 308 of the Constitution, I don't think it is in relation to that. What we know the history of Code of Conduct in this country. It was a creation of the military. And the military created a caveat whereby they will still hold on to determine what will happen in the judiciary. So they created Code of Conduct with that caveat. And then that caveat was exercised by a democratic process, which was quite abnormal, where your Chief Justice of the Federation was not subjected to a process of punishment as a public officer was taken directly to code of conduct without getting any, without being reviewed by NJC, which recommended for his appointment. So this is the lacuna this amendment is trying to create, not to give the judicial officers any immunity, but trying to streamline the process in accordance with the provisions of Section 292 of the Constitution. Before you remove or before you take a judicial officer to a court or to for any infraction that he has committed, you follow the process. Go to the NJC. NJC will investigate the matter. If the matter is found to be criminal or civil, he will face the Code of Conduct Bureau. So the process is followed, then he is removed. Just the case of Onange. No process was followed. It was just by fiat because the law gave that gap. So that's what this amendment is trying to seek. It's trying to amend certain mistakes that were created over a period of time. It was military, and then...
So can one say that the role of the NJC is being usurped by the Code of Conduct Bureau?
No, it's being usurped by the executive.
Because if the NJC is in place with a mandate to carry out investigation if there's any infraction,
Yes.
in the course of exercising the mandate of the judicial officers, their results should be what should guide any decision thereafter.
Yes.
So when they have exercised that mandate, and at the end of the day, it results to relieving the judicial officer from that position, Code of Conduct can go after them.
That's right. That's it. That's what this amendment is seeking.
This is what you're supposed to project.
Yes.
My understanding, that is what I understand that you're trying to push out.
That's the issue.
Yeah, he's saying allow NJC to do their job. Once they are done, we should have confidence in them to do a good job. If they give an unbiased decision that relieves a judicial officer of his duty, then you can by that time activate the mandate of the Code of Conduct Bureau or any agency to go after them, because a friction of time does not work with regards to maybe a crime committed while in office, so they can still maintain an action against that individual, but not as a judicial officer. I hope I'm not doing your debate for you. I think that is the summary of what he's trying to say. So let me now put the question. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, if our Constitution, which is the ground norm, can grant immunity to the executive, particularly or in specifics, the president, the vice president, the governor, and the office of the deputy governor, I submit that granting or allowing judicial officers to be excluded pursuant to this bill is something that must enjoy the support of this House.
So you are taking us back to immunity.
No, sir.
Because the argument, he's saying...
Let me distinguish this.
He's saying, let me come please. He's saying this is different from immunity.
So let me distinguish.
And you are saying if we are giving immunity to president and vice president, we should also give immunity to CJN. So what happens to Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Senate President, Deputy Senate President? Because we are three arms of government.
Your Excellency,
because the argument seems to project that we should have immunity for all the leaders of the arms of government. So if you want to come with a bill on that, I think the House will also like to hear you.
Your Excellency, that's not what I'm talking about. I want to make a distinction, sir.
Okay.
Immunity is even in the extreme case that somebody is not tried, he enjoys this immunity pursuant to section 308 of the Constitution. Now, we are saying that a judicial officer should be exempted. And Mr. Speaker, the position is clear. It is because of political manipulation that we must exclude judicial officers from, being tried in the Code of Conduct Tribunal. What I'm saying is, if we can grant immunity in our Constitution to the executive, why can't we allow judicial officers to conduct their judicial office without this distraction? The judiciary is the last hope of the common man. And we have been witnesses to what happens in this country. They suffer media trial, the reputations are damaged, and at the end of it, we find out that they are even innocent. So we should allow them do their job by supporting this kind of bill, so that judicial officers may be insulated from the troubles that come with these political shenanigans. Mr. Speaker, that's my position.
Thank you. Communicator.
No. Is to protect them from only code of conduct rule, not ordinary court. So it is never an immunity. Let us protect them, but we must add that utmost good faith must be seen to be displayed in whatever they are doing, so that we must protect them. Let them be fair to everybody. Stand on your feet. Protect the masses. The masses will protect you. Not when we are fighting for you, you turn around and fight against us. It is what you ask for that will eventually come to you. So, Mr. Speaker, I align myself to protecting them from all these shenanigans. I so submit.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from...
Before a judge is put to trial or to the tribunal, there are administrative procedures through which judges are tried by the NJC. And I don't think I've seen a judge that is taking the code of conduct and removed on the ground of that. So I don't know, it amounts to trying to give immunity to the back door. I'm sorry, my chairman, but what is not clear is what is going to be the role of the NJC in trial of a serving judge before sacked if found guilty. So I don't think it is an issue of executive trying to witch hunt. We should just try as much as possible to see that things are properly done, so that Nigerians will not see us just coming up with revolts. And I believe that procedure for trying judges is vested even in the NJC, with due respect, sir. So in the light of this, I don't think this request for immunity for a serving judge, by the time you do it for a serving judge, definitely civil servants, doctors, everybody will start coming and requesting for immunities. The reason why immunities in the first place were there is not to distract those who are giving immunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ambassador.